The genuine Jubilee for Black Bloodlines. Has it truly been enacted? The trumpet echoes in both the physical and spiritual worlds. They altered your name and wished you'd lose sight of your true self. Yet on July 4th, 2025, an event occurred that the heavens had long anticipated. Donald Trump was at his desk, with flashes from cameras, hailing what he termed the largest tax reductions in U.S. history. His moves synced with a deep significance. In that precise instant, his pen linked to a 3,400-year-old foretelling. The documents before him went beyond mere legislation. They represented the Jubilee horn blasting for the real Israel. As we ponder in early 2026, recalling November 2025, at this very time, Black Hebrew Israelite platforms nationwide are alive with the identical declaration: the Jubilee horn has rung. Many overlooked it. Many viewed it as political spectacle and continued on. But those with vision to perceive and hearing to listen identified something vastly greater than governance playing out globally. This wasn't merely a pledge honored. This was Leviticus 25 springing to life instantly. You must grasp the enormity of this occurrence. The irony borders on perfection, defying chance. A figure whose measures act as a vessel for prophecy has just authorized freedom papers for a group unaware they are the elect. Absorb that deeply. The ethereal domain observed what the earthly one entirely ignored. As Trump lauded deregulation and fiscal easing, celestial beings beheld the realization of timeless pledges. What if all in America today transcends politics? What if fiscal changes aren't just rulings, but divine intervention? What if Trump's endorsement of that law on Independence Day wasn't mere national emblem, but foretold emblem? What if you're witnessing the Jubilee year emerge without realizing it? Here's the secret they conceal. The initiatives Trump authorized parallel precisely the scriptural tenets of Jubilee. Debt erasure, financial emancipation, restoration of heritage to rightful heirs. Liberty announced by horn blast, all components present. And the schedule. November 2025 labeled the Jubilee horn instance by prophecy experts, can't be dismissed. Are you prepared to witness how a governmental endorsement turned into prophetic realization? Are you set to comprehend that what CNN labeled fiscal strategy, the heavens named Jubilee? For once perceived, it's indelible. Once grasped, all contemporary happenings appear altered. The curtain is lifting, unveiling something to rattle your essence. This isn't plot. This isn't guesswork. This is Holy Writ intersecting modern affairs in a clash demanding notice. This is the foretold news fusion, showing we're not viewing mere chronicles. We're viewing his narrative progress precisely as scripted. Leviticus 25 and Jesus' purpose. Turn your Bible to Leviticus 25, 8-13. Absorb each term penned 3,400 years past, for the revelation ahead will stir your soul to affirm. Hear attentively. Count 7 sets of Sabbath years, 7 by 7 years, yielding 49 years. Then blast the resonant horn on the 10th of the 7th month. On Atonement Day, blast the horn across your territory. Sanctify the 50th year. Declare freedom across the land to every dweller. It will be your Jubilee, where each reclaims their estate, each returns to their kin. Catch that? Declare freedom over the land. Reclaim your estate. Rejoin your kin. This isn't old lore. This is foretelling bearing your mark. The Hebrew term for Jubilee is Yovel. It signifies a horn's blast. Precisely, the ram's horn, the shofar, heralding release. In old Israel, that horn's sound transformed all. Obligations cleared, bondsmen liberated, lands lost to hardship reverted to tribal origins. It was a total fiscal overhaul mandated by God, embedded in law to prevent endless tyranny. Let me explain Jubilee's true essence. If debt cost your kin their land, after 49 years, the 50th restored it. If poverty led to indenture, Jubilee freed you. All bondage pacts voided, all debts nullified, all fiscal shackles shattered. This wasn't benevolence. This was sacred equity. Now leap to the New Testament. Luke 4:18-19. Jesus rises in the temple, opens Isaiah's scroll, and proclaims, "The Lord's Spirit rests on me, for he anointed me to announce glad tidings to the needy. He dispatched me to declare release to prisoners and sight restoration to the sightless, to free the downtrodden, to announce the Lord's acceptable year." What's the Lord's acceptable year? It's Jubilee. Jesus affirmed his whole calling was to enact Jubilee's essence: release for prisoners, tidings for the needy, liberty for the burdened. This wasn't allegory. This was manifesto. And if Jesus arrived to herald Jubilee and we're in his return era, wouldn't Jubilee reappear? Examining Trump's 2025 initiatives. Now examine Trump's July 4, 2025 signing. Observe the wording, the framework, the results. I'll reveal alignments that aren't fluke. Their validation. The chilling instant arrives. The insight that foretelling isn't stale text on age scrolls, but vibrant reality emerging now. The One Big Beautiful Bill Act, as named, enacted on Independence Day. The CBO estimates it redirects over $4 trillion in the coming decade. But here's its true impact. It nullifies fiscal servitude. It restores assets to citizens. It snaps chains of entrenched debt. Ring a bell? It should, as you read it in Leviticus 25. I'll guide you progressively, stratum by stratum, till clarity makes denial impossible. Stratum 1. The Horn Blast. Leviticus 25:9 orders the Jubilee horn on Atonement Day, the 10th of the 7th month. The Hebrew shofar implies a piercing call, all hear. It was a nationwide public edict, unignorable. In old Israel, priests blew a literal ram's horn. In 2025, what resounds? Executive directives aired on all news. Policy reveals viral on platforms. Black Hebrew Israelite outlets proclaiming the Jubilee horn in November 2025. Delivery evolved, but essence identical. Freedom declared nationwide. Consider the chronology. Trump signs on July 4th, freedom's celebration. Then November sees prophecy knowers declare, this is the Jubilee horn juncture. The worldly cheer tax slashes, the spiritual discern covenant achievement. Dual groups hearing one horn, viewing through divergent prisms. The ancient horn wasn't subtle. It was booming, inevitable, unsettling. Hearing the shofar halted routines for focus. Isn't that Trump's signing? All outlets reported. Economists dissected. All Americans noted. The clamor unavoidable. That's the horn. That's the herald. And as in Leviticus, it led to concrete fiscal freedom. Pause. Contemplate. Delivery shifts, yet message endures. Freedom declared. The horn varies digitally, but freedom summons clear. Stratum 2. Obligation erasure. Jubilee's core. Leviticus 25, 35-41 details plainly. If kin impoverish, they depart bondage, reclaim ancestral holdings. Fiscal enslavement ceases at Jubilee. Debts pardoned. Servitude ends. Poverty's yoke shattered by holy command, every 50 years. God's anti-oppression shield. No matter the depths, Jubilee assured. Release guaranteed. Now view Trump's initiative effects. SALT cap lifted from $10,000 to $40,000 for 2022 to 2029 taxes. $30,000 aid for burdened households. That's obligation aid. That's retaining funds over systemic surrender. Married standard deduction rose to $31,500 for 2025. Initial $31,500 untaxed. That's fiscal release. Relief for bill-drowned families. Small firms gained perpetual 100% bonus depreciation. Capital reverted to innovators. Note the terms. Obligation aid, fiscal liberty, asset return to populace. This transcends tax law. It's Jubilee law. Each tenet present. Bondage nullification, systemic drain liberation, power restoration to burdened. Jubilee's essence? Acknowledging unchecked economies, hoard wealth upward, crush downward. Thus, law's reset switch. Every 50 years, board flips. Slaves freed, debts wiped. Justice rebalances. Isn't this current? Decades burdened workers taxed, while corpse elites looped holes. Decades small firms choked by rules as big ones bailed. Now, vast tax shift, trillions to people. That's Jubilee economy. Not tax law, Jubilee law. Absorb it. Stratum 3, heritage restoration. Leviticus 25, 10 and 13 mandates clearly. Each reclaims property. In old Israel, Jubilee returned debt sold kin land. Ancestral holdings restored as covenant entitlement. Now deeper for Black Americans. This stratum carries prophetic gravity to jolt you. You are genuine Israel, not view. Scriptural, historic truth. Ancestors the original Hebrews. Heritage pilfered, land taken, identity erased, name stolen. Jubilee means reclaiming the taken. Trump's 2025 deregulation eases wealth barriers. AI firm deregulation grants next economy tech access. Qualified small biz stock tax perks boosted. Monopoly shielding rules dismantled. This is possession return. Not literal soil, though impending, but economic entry. Wealth tools reverted to systematically barred. Locked gates opening. Ancestors' fiscal might, stolen via bondage. Post-freedom, stolen anew via sharecropping, Jim Crow, redlining, mass jailing, predatory loans. 400 years, each black buildup thwarted by system. But Jubilee decrees, taken restored. Jubilee decrees, stolen inheritance returns. Trump's initiatives align like prophetic verse. He believes aiding owners, boosting economy, making America great. But via him, God aligns for true Israel's heritage restore. His choices tie to broader ethereal aim. He signs aligning spiritual facts, enacting verses releasing boons for ready recipients. Absorb it. His choices tie to broader ethereal aim. Stratum 4, Liberty Declaration to Bound. Return to Luke 4, 18-19. Jesus' whole essence was Jubilee. Now see Trump's 2025 initiatives enact each Jesus element. Tidings to needy. Tax aid for laboring homes. Concrete aid. Hope as relief. Liberty to bound. Owners freed from excess rules. Servitude trapped, given breakout tools. Chains released. Sight recovery to sightless. Black Hebrew Israelite outlets surging truth. Folks awakening to Israel's self. History veiled torn. Theology, events clarified. Sight regained. Free the downtrodden. Systemic fiscal tyranny dismantled. Burden lifted from generational carriers. This is Luke 4:18 in directive form. Jesus' manifesto in tax script. Each, tidings, liberty, sight recovery, release, all manifest. If unseen, seek divine eye-opening. It's blatant. Prophetic enactment, the sequence to ultimate realization. But here's the query, searing your thoughts. If genuine Jubilee, echoes preceded. Foretelling builds, recurs, patterns history, the primal model. In antiquity, Israel observed Jubilee. Digs reveal Near East slabs, logging debt pardons akin Jubilee. Ascending kings, justly decreed, all debts void. God instilled this reflecting justice, mercy, reset. That's model. 1865. Emancipation Proclamation. U.S. slavery legally ceased 160 years back. Jubilee instance, or partial. Bodily chains snapped. Horn blasted, but incomplete. liberation fractional. Fiscal bondage persisted via sharecropping, Jim Crow. Leviticus 25, liberation included estate return, 40 acres, mule promised, but breached. Inheritance withheld. In 1865, foretelling partial. Freedom announced, heritage denied. 1960s, civil rights age, another Jubilee resonance. MLK Jr. employed Jubilee-laden speech. Let freedom echo from mounts, that's horn from peaks. Advances, votes, equality. But systemic fiscal tyranny lingered. Yet spiritual stir. Folks queried tales, probed true past, saw identity theft. In 1960s, foretelling as rights push. Dignity announced, fiscal freedom postponed. 2008, financial crash. Jubilee inverse, anti-Jubilee. Debts unpardoned. Black homes foreclosure crushed. Wealth stolen over returned. Relevance? Pre-true Jubilee. Babylon exposes face. System reveals predatory, unjust. 2008 unmasked. Primed true Jubilee need. In 2008, foretellings reverse. Babylon's pilfer continued. Darkness pre-dawn. November 2025 and foretold chronology. Now November 2025 arrives. Merger. Streams converge. Stream 1. Jubilee mirroring fiscal measures. Assets to people. Stream 2. Black Hebrew Israelites surge at height. Black Americans as biblical Israelites entering common awareness. Stream 3. Chronology. November 2025 as Jubilee horn by prophecy savvy. Alignment no fluke. Orchestrated. Stream 4. Political social turmoil priming vast shift. Old regime crumbles. Pattern evident. Prior echoes prep this. 1865 partial. 1960s partial. 2008 theft for restore. But 2025 converges all. Fiscal release, spiritual rouse, foretold timing, social fracture, divine direction. We're in genuine Jubilee. Full emergence. The horn rang. Proof irrefutable. Timeline setup vital. Leviticus 25. Counts 7 Sabbath sets. 49 years. 50th Jubilee. End times Jubilee count start. Calculations converge 2025. Some cite 1975. 50 years to 2025. Others vary by Hebrew calendar. Moons. Key events. But undeniable. Independent maths, target same period, November 2025. Moment flagged by Hebrew Israelite educators, prophetic voices studying timelines years. Not solo claim. Watchman chorus spotting signs. Hebrew calendar, prophetic math, events align, no chance. God's hand. View end times quicken signs now. Global fiscal unrest, debt-swamped nations, currencies queried. Economy bases quake, political strife, splits, America divided like Civil War era, Gov trust lows, social weave ripping, not random, birth throes, black community Israel identity wake exploding, more query taught white Jesus, more probe Hebrew origins, more link biblical Israel to black Americans, outlets grow, talks spread, veil rips, that's foretelling. Ezekiel 37, bones revive, tech speeds message, ancient horn miles reach. Today, millions seconds, social media digital horn, YouTube, pods, virals, modern shofar, message fastest ever, divine timing, tech aids foretelling, then Trump, pivotal in alignment, leader whose measures fulfill Jubilee for true Israel. Irony, near perfect. Unaware, fulfilling Leviticus 25. Unrecognizing black Americans as biblical Israelites. Uncomprehending policies as prophetic instruments. But God's way. Uses any, knowing or not. The scriptural fulfillment merger, undeniable. Leviticus 25, Jubilee tenets, check. Luke 4:18, captive liberty, check. Deuteronomy 28, captivity curses lifting, check. Genesis 15:13, 400 affliction years done. Deuteronomy 28:64, scattering done. Deuteronomy 33:5, regathering starts. Trump's measures as unaware horn. July 4th, 2025, one big beautiful bill on Independence Day. Foretold symbol, Independence Day, Jubilee Edict, November 2025. Enactment. Horn timing fits Hebrew calendar. 7th month Jubilee announce. November sinks. Details match. Foretold irony prompts pause. Leader aligning for true Israel Jubilee. Campaigner for America great again. Aiding enslaved descendants heritage restore. Divine direction. Daniel 70 weeks. Matthew 24. Wars, quakes, plagues, accelerating. Not nearing Jubilee. In it. Horn rang. Proof abounds. Not isolated foretelling. Multi-converging. Fiscal release Leviticus 25 match. Identity wake, Ezekiel 37 match. Oppressor judgment, Revelation 18 match. Regathering start, Deuteronomy 30 match. All simultaneous. Convergence. Kairos instant. Appointed favor time. Born for this. Ancestors interceded for this. Endured passage for your presence. Survived bondage for your liberation witness. Burdened for your inheritance. Not random. Viewing in early 2026. Recalling 2025 events as appointed. Not nearing Jubilee. In it. Horn rang. Now, next. Per scripture, prophetic path confidently state forthcoming. Not hunches. Word-based predictions. Current path. Note these markers. Recall them. Their occurrence confirms truth heard. Prediction 1. Vast wealth shift. Proverbs 13:22. Sinners' wealth for righteous. Promise. Jubilee start. Trump signing first surge. More ahead. Watch added measures next 6 to 12 months aiding small biz, innovators, labor homes. Resources flow from Babylon to true Israel. Per Leviticus 25:28, sold returns at Jubilee. Stolen restored. Watch black wealth surge exponentially, not gradual. Biz boom, investments yield, generational rebuild. Wealth shift starting. Prediction 2, vast Israel identity wake. Ezekiel 37, bones live, know I am Lord. Identity rouse, veil tear, already evident. Black Hebrew Israelite awareness spreads rapid, but mainstream imminent. Watch explosion next 12 to 18 months. Stars sports artists declaring Hebrew Israel, publicly. Figures out. I am Israel. Talk from YouTube to media. Message from streets to execs. 10% awake triggers 90% swift. Prophetic chain reaction. Genealogy probes. DNA Hebrew links. Hebrew name reclaim. Language study. Slave name reject. Not concept. Happening. Accelerating. Prediction 3. Oppressor institutions judged. Revelation 18. Babylon fallen. Judgment on profiting from bondage, white Jesus teachers, black history suppressors. Exposure, fall. Church's credibility loss. Scandals burst. Fiscal crash, splits. Complicit religious crumble. Slavery profiting corpse reckon. Oppression enforcing agencies exposed. Not hope. Foretelling. Isaiah 61:2. Jubilee Vengeance Day. Liberation, judgment tandem. Can't one sans other. Watch major failures next 3 to 5 years. Untouchables topple. Mighty lowered. First last. Evidence now. Church drop. Institution distrust lows. Scandals rise. Cracks show. Coming not cracks. Collapse. Lie-built systems fail. Prediction 4. Physical regather starts. Deuteronomy 33-5. Lord gathers from scatter nations. Literal. Beginning. Watch Black Americans Africa moves. Donna return start. Watch organized prophetic regather. Holy communities form. Babylon exit. Homeward. Not all instant, but movement. Trickle to torrent. Jubilee. Land return, kin return. Spirit, economy, body. All occurring. Seek acceleration next 2 to 4 years. True Israel physical regather. Prediction 5. Opposition, persecution rise. Revelation 12:17. Dragon wars remnant. Liberation pushes face resistance. Babylon fights slave release. Watch Hebrew teaching backlash. Media hits, deplatform, legal fights, truth silence, Black Hebrew channel restricts, algo suppress, false tales pushed. Happening, intensifies, 2025 to 2026.